The 3 drinks turning your medications toxic after age 60. If you're over 60 and taking any kind of prescription medication, there's a good chance you're drinking something that could be turning your medicine into a liver destroyer. Millions of us do this every single day without even realizing the danger. You follow your doctor's orders, you take your pills on time, but what you wash them down with, or even drink hours later, could be creating a toxic chemical reaction inside your body. It could be putting your liver, your heart, and your life at risk. In this video, we're going to pull back the curtain on 3 surprisingly common drinks that can cause dangerous interactions with your medications. And more importantly, we're going to show you some simple swaps that will help protect you and can even start healing your body in just a few weeks. So, stick with us, because what you're about to learn is something your doctor might have never had the time to fully explain, and it's information that every single person over 60 needs to know. Let's start with a hard truth. Your body at 60, 70, or 80 is not the same machine it was at 30. One of the biggest changes happens in an organ you probably don't think about too much: your liver. As we get older, our liver's ability to process everything we consume just changes. Its overall mass can shrink and the blood flow slows down. What does that mean for you? It means medications can stay in your system longer and at higher concentrations than your doctor intended. It's like having a slow-draining sink. What used to flush through easily can now back up and overflow, causing toxicity and damage. On top of that, there's the reality of polypharmacy. It's just a clinical term for a very common situation: taking multiple medications at once. In fact, studies show that around 30% of people over 65 are taking 8 or more prescription meds every single day. Each of those pills was prescribed for a good reason: to manage blood pressure, control cholesterol, or handle arthritis pain. But here's the critical, often missed part of the conversation. Many of us are unknowingly mixing these powerful drugs with everyday drinks that can turn them from helpful to harmful. The potential for dangerous interactions is a huge concern for older adults, yet it's a topic that's easy to overlook in routine medical advice. Today, we're bringing that hidden danger out into the open. Alright, the first drink on our list is the one we all know about, but its dangers are profoundly underestimated, especially as we age. We're talking about alcohol. That nightly glass of wine to unwind, the beer with friends. These are cherished rituals for many of us. In fact, about half of all adults over 65 drink alcohol. But when you're taking medication, this seemingly harmless habit can become a game of Russian roulette with your health. Here's the problem. Your liver has a series of specific pathways to break down different substances, kind of like checkout lanes at a grocery store. Well, many common medications and alcohol need to go through the exact same checkout lane. When you have a drink, you're essentially causing a traffic jam in that lane. The liver gets overwhelmed and can't process your medication correctly. This leads to 2 dangerous outcomes. Either the medication isn't broken down fast enough, leading to a toxic buildup, or the liver works so hard on the alcohol that it breaks down the drug too quickly, making it useless. Let's get specific, because this is where it gets real. First up, pain medications. Millions of seniors take over-the-counter pain relievers like acetaminophen, the main ingredient in Tylenol. It's perfectly safe when used as directed, but when you mix it with alcohol, even a small amount, you create a perfect storm for liver damage. When your liver breaks down acetaminophen, it makes a tiny bit of a toxic byproduct that it normally cleans up right away. But alcohol revs up the process that creates this toxin, while at the same time, it uses up the very antioxidant the liver needs to clean it up. So you're making more poison and getting rid of the antidote. This 1-2 punch can lead to severe liver injury, a risk that is much higher in older adults. Next are blood thinners, like warfarin, which are prescribed to prevent strokes. This is one of the most dangerous interactions. Alcohol can crank up the effect of warfarin, thinning your blood way too much. This dramatically increases your risk of a severe, uncontrolled bleed. A simple fall could turn into a catastrophic internal hemorrhage. On the flip side, for chronic heavy drinkers, alcohol can sometimes do the opposite, making the blood thinner less effective, and raising the risk of a deadly clot. It makes the medication totally unpredictable. And what about diabetes medications? If you take drugs like metformin, drinking alcohol is a serious gamble. It can cause your blood sugar to plummet to dangerously low levels, a condition called hypoglycemia. The tricky part is that the symptoms, dizziness, confusion, weakness, can look a lot like just being drunk. So you might not even realize you're in the middle of a medical emergency. The simple swap. Look, the safest swap is, without a doubt, a non-alcoholic alternative. There are fantastic sparkling waters with a splash of lemon, elegant herbal teas you can serve in a wine glass, and a whole new world of really good non-alcoholic beers and wines. You get the ritual without the risk. But if you do choose to drink, the rules have to be moderation and separation. Never take your pills with alcohol. A safer bet is to leave at least 4 hours between your medication and a single alcoholic drink. And most importantly, have a direct, honest talk with your doctor or pharmacist. Ask them point blank, with the medications I'm on, what is a truly safe amount of alcohol for me to drink, if any? Their answer is the only one that matters. The second drink on our list is a true wolf in sheep's clothing. It hides in plain sight, often disguised as refreshing, natural, or even healthy. We're talking about sugary beverages, and this category is way broader than just sodas. It includes fruit juices, sweetened iced teas, sports drinks, and all those fancy coffee drinks loaded with syrups. You might think, it's just a little sugar, what's the harm? Well, science is painting a very clear and alarming picture, especially for your liver. A major study recently highlighted that a higher intake of sugar-sweetened beverages is linked to a much higher risk of developing metabolic dysfunction-associated steatotic liver disease, or MASLD. That's the new name for what we used to call non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NAFLD. In simple terms, it's fat building up in your liver, not from booze, but from your diet. Researchers found that drinking more than one sugary drink a day led to a significantly higher prevalence of this condition. So why is this so dangerous if you're over 60 and on medication? A fatty, inflamed liver is a sluggish, inefficient liver. Remember our analogy of the liver as a busy highway? Well, MASLD is like having construction cones and lane closures all over the place. The flow of traffic, your medication metabolism, is totally impaired. Your liver struggles to break down drugs the way it's supposed to. This leads to the same problems we saw with alcohol. Drugs building up to toxic levels or not working at all. If you're taking medicine for your heart, blood pressure, or diabetes, you need your liver working at peak efficiency. A liver bogged down with fat just can't do its job. The main culprit in these drinks is a type of sugar called fructose, usually in the form of high fructose corn syrup. Unlike other sugars, fructose is almost entirely processed by the liver. When you chug a sugary drink, you're sending a tidal wave of fructose straight to your liver cells. The liver can't use it all for energy, so it does the only thing it can. It turns the extra fructose into fat. That fat builds up, triggering inflammation and damage. And what about that all-natural fruit juice? A single glass of orange juice can have as much sugar as a can of soda, but without any of the fiber from the whole fruit to slow it down, it's still a massive sugar bomb hitting your liver. And get this, some emerging research is even starting to question diet drinks. Preliminary studies suggest a potential link between artificial sweeteners and liver stress, possibly by disrupting our gut microbiome in ways that can also harm the liver. The simple swap. The answer is beautifully simple. Water. Hydration is everything, and water is the purest way to get it. But simple doesn't have to be boring. Infuse a pitcher of cold water with slices of cucumber and mint. Add a handful of berries or a few slices of orange for a refreshing flavor. Another great choice is unsweetened herbal tea. Peppermint, chamomile, or hibiscus can be fantastic hot or cold, offering complex flavors without any sugar. If you absolutely need a little sweetness, a tiny bit of a natural zero-calorie sweetener like stevia leaf extract is a much better choice than sugar or aspartame. By making this one swap, you take a huge source of stress off your liver, letting it do its real job, keeping you healthy. Our third drink preys on our desire for more energy, As we get older, energy levels can naturally dip, and the promise of a quick pick-me-up in a can feels incredibly tempting. We're talking about energy drinks and those highly caffeinated wellness shots. For a senior, especially one on medication for heart or blood pressure issues, these drinks aren't just a bad idea, they can be downright dangerous. The heart of the problem is the sheer concentration of stimulants. An energy drink is not just a strong cup of coffee. An 8-ounce cup of coffee has around 95 milligrams of caffeine. A single energy drink can pack anywhere from 100 to over 350 milligrams. Plus, they often contain other stimulants that aren't even called caffeine, like guarana, a plant extract where just 1 gram can add another 40+ milligrams of caffeine. Add in other stuff like taurine and L-carnitine, and you've got a chemical cocktail designed to jolt your nervous system. For an older body, this is a massive risk. The FDA says up to 400 milligrams of caffeine a day is generally okay for healthy adults. But that guideline often doesn't apply to older folks, especially with underlying conditions. As we age, our bodies metabolize caffeine more slowly. That jolt that lasts a few hours for a 30-year-old can have much longer, more intense effects in a 70-year-old. Now let's connect this to your medication. The most dangerous interactions are with cardiovascular drugs. If you're on a blood pressure medication like a beta blocker, you are trying to lower your heart rate and blood pressure. An energy drink does the exact opposite. It aggressively increases heart rate and blood pressure. You are literally forcing your heart into a tug-of-war. Studies show that energy drinks can cause significant blood pressure spikes, which is especially risky for people who already have hypertension. It's not just blood pressure meds either. The stimulants in these drinks can trigger heart rhythm problems or arrhythmias. Research has shown that chugging one of these drinks can mess with the heart's electrical activity, creating the risk for a dangerous irregularity. For anyone with a pre-existing heart condition, like atrial fibrillation, that's a serious threat. And here we have to add a special, very important warning for a seemingly healthy juice that acts more like a drug: grapefruit juice. It contains compounds called furanocoumarins that literally shut down a critical enzyme in your gut and liver called CYP3A4. This one enzyme is responsible for breaking down about half of all prescription drugs. When you drink grapefruit juice, you disable it. The result? Way more of the drug floods your bloodstream than your body is ready for. Drinking a single glass can cause the level of certain drugs to skyrocket, turning your prescribed dose into a massive overdose. This is especially dangerous with certain statins, like Zocor and Lipitor, many blood pressure medications, and some anti-anxiety drugs. And this effect isn't temporary, it can last for up to 3 days. If you take any prescription medication, you have to avoid grapefruit and grapefruit juice entirely unless your doctor has specifically told you it's okay. The simple swap: to get a safe, gentle energy lift, turn to green tea. It has a moderate amount of caffeine, but it also contains an amino acid called L-theanine, which promotes alertness without the jittery, heart-pounding side effects of an energy drink. It gives you a calm focus, not a chaotic jolt. Another fantastic swap isn't a drink at all, but a habit, a short, brisk 10-minute walk. The boost in circulation and oxygen to the brain is a powerful natural energizer that actually supports your heart health instead of threatening it. Okay, we've covered a lot, and I know it can sound intimidating, but the real message here isn't about fear, it's about empowerment. Your liver is an incredibly resilient organ. Even if you've been unknowingly doing some of these things, your body has a remarkable capacity to heal. With the right changes, even early-stage liver issues can start to improve in just a few weeks. Let's do a quick recap. The 3 toxic drinks and their simple healing swaps. First, alcohol. It creates a traffic jam in your liver. Swap it for a great non-alcoholic alternative, or, at the very least, put several hours between your pill and your drink. Second, sugary drinks. They lead to a fatty, sluggish liver. The swap is clean, refreshing water, maybe infused with fruit or unsweetened herbal tea. And third, energy drinks. They're a direct assault on your heart. The swap is a gentle, focusing green tea or a brisk walk. And remember that critical warning about grapefruit juice. The most important step you can take after watching this starts with a conversation. Your health is unique to you. So, the next time you see your doctor or pharmacist, do not leave without having this conversation. Bring a list of everything you take, prescriptions, over-the-counter pills, vitamins, all of it. Then, ask these 3 critical questions. 1. Looking at my specific medications, what are the real risks for me with alcohol? 2. Could any of my regular drinks, like juice or soda, be affecting how my liver handles these drugs? 3. Are there any foods or supplements like grapefruit that I need to avoid completely? This isn't about questioning your doctor, it's about partnering with them to keep you safe. We created this video because we truly believe that knowledge is the best medicine. If you found this information valuable, please give this video a like and consider subscribing to our channel. We're dedicated to bringing you clear, science-backed health info that can make a real difference in your life. And finally, we want to build a community here. So, tell us in the comments below, did any of these drink interactions surprise you? Or do you have your own healthy swap to share? Your story might be the one that helps someone else. Thanks for watching, and here's to your health.